Hey friends, it's Miss Ashley. I'm here today to talk with you about a really important math skill called estimation. It's quite a lot of fun because usually in math, we're always looking to get the right answer. In estimation, you're allowed to be wrong, which is a pretty cool thing. So what we're gonna do is start by talking about what estimation is and then give us a chance to practice. So let's take a look at the word estimation. What actually does estimation mean? Well, if you look at this big box of play balls, you're going to notice there are a lot in there. And you don't have these in your house, so you're not able to count up exactly how many are in this box. But often people will look at something and they will wonder, I wonder how many is in front of me or how many is in that box. So an estimation is an approximate calculation or guess of the number, value, or quantity of something. It's a really big definition with a lot of big words. So what does estimation really mean? Well, it's kind of a close but not exact guess of something. So let's move forward and think about how do we estimate? How do we guess the number or amount of something without actually counting? Well, first we're going to use our eyes and we're going to look. And when we look, sometimes people like to count very quickly if they can. Well, that's fine, but actually we can just do a look and a glance and just kind of imagine about how many might be there. We're going to think, and then we're going to actually make our guess. So here's the thing about estimation. In most of the math we do, we're always looking for a correct answer and the exact right answer. But be prepared to be wrong when you're estimating. And for a lot of people, this can be really challenging. They feel like they might be getting tricked, and so they really always feel like they need the exact number. But guess what? In estimation, it's okay to be close. So we're going to take a look at some different items. And in the activity, one of the things you're encouraged to do is count the number of plates that you have in your cupboard. So here's a stack of plates, and I want you to look quickly, and I want you to make a guess. My estimate is about 20. I'm going to have you pause and write down an estimate for yourself, or just say the number aloud, and then we're going to move on and find out how many plates there really are. Now, in this one in particular, you may have counted, but let's take a look and see. All right, it's time to count up the plates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 large plates here. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. See how close that was to your estimate. So there were 15 plates. And if you remember, that wasn't my guess. If you go back, my guess was about 20. I thought there were about 20 and there were actually 15. So I wasn't correct, but I was okay. I was close. And an estimate, it's okay if it's close. Let's look at another thing, a stack of bowls. Quickly take a look and make your guess. I'm going to estimate 8. Go ahead and write down your estimate, and let's find out how many there are. Okay, it's time to count up the bowls. We have 4 colored ones and 3, so 7 bowls total. Ooh. See how close that was to your estimate. You know what? It was very close to my estimate. My estimate was 8. And there were 7. So it was very, very close with this one. Let's move on to something else. Ooh, these are some plants that my husband started, and there's a variety of vegetables here. And what I'm wondering is how many starts, not including these back here. So only in this container, about how many do you see? I think there's about 30. Go ahead and make your estimate, and then we will find out how many there are. All right, it's time to count up the exact number of plants and compare that with our estimate. So one thing you may not know is that when you buy packs of plants, they often come in a pack of 6 cells like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my skip counting or multiplication to find out the exact amount. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 6. So I could use multiplication and say 6 times, or I could know that 6 2 times is 12, and I have 12 plus 12 plus 12. Both of those are going to give you a final count of 36 plants. Think about how that compares to your estimate. Okay, I estimated 30, which was actually pretty close because the actual amount of plants is 36. All right, moving on. It's going to get a little more challenging, friends. This is a vent. It's kind of like a cover for a vent in my house. It's on the floor, and I'm looking at all these individual openings. What would be your estimate about how many do you think there are? Well, I did an estimate about 120, and here's how I did it. When I looked, I thought, I bet you there's about 20 in each column. So if I skip count by 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, that's how I got my estimate. Go ahead and make your estimate, and then let's find out how many there really are. Here we go.
All right, it's time to count up how many slots or openings are in the entire vent and compare that to our estimation. So if I count in one of these sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
I don't know about you, but I can tell I'm already going to be wrong. Because if there is 16 in a column, I was estimating already 20 in a column, but that's okay. Let's continue and find out how many there really are.
I know that I'm going to take 16 6 times. 16 2 times is the same as 16 times 2, or 16 plus 16, which would be 32. 32 plus 32 plus 32. So I have 32 3 times. Well, 33 times is 30, 60, 90. 2 3 times is 2, 4, 6. So altogether, I have 96 openings in the vent. Think about how that compares to your estimation.
Well, friends, my estimation was still fairly close for 120, but it was definitely not correct because the real amount, the actual amount, is 96. All right, here is a big pile of marbles. And when you look at this, I'm wondering how many you think are in this pile. When I looked at this, I estimated there were probably around 150. 150 was my estimate. And I'm hoping that I'm close. Go ahead and write yours down, think about what it would be, and then let's find out how many there really are.
All right, it's time to count up the marbles. To make the counting a little easier, I've grouped them into piles of 10. So you can see here that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. So there is 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, another 50, another 50. So we have 200 plus another 10 and 3. So 213 marbles. Compare that to your estimate.
Okay, my friends, I am noticing I'm getting almost further and further away from the actual amount. So I estimated 150. In actuality, there are 113. So I want you to think for a moment why it might be that the larger the quantity, the less close we are to the actual amount. My guesses keep getting further and further apart. Well, I know for me, when there's a large quantity, it's even harder to have to count up. If I see only a few of something in a hand, I can kind of make a guess that's a little closer. So here's the fun thing about estimation. When you think about estimation, you don't have to be correct, but you do want to make an educated guess. You want to use your eyes and your brain to think about what would be the likely amount of something or the number of something. So back to these balls. These balls come in a large box, and underneath this black kind of circle that I've covered up is the exact amount of balls in this box that you can buy. So I'm wondering if you have a guess. Maybe your guess and your estimate is 100, 200, maybe 500. My guess when I looked at it was about 500. I thought this is probably like 500 balls that you could buy for a little ball pit. Well, let's take a look. 1,000. There are 1,000 balls in this box. So there, my estimate was even further away. But you know what? It's okay. You're going to go forth and you're going to estimate in your house. Try different things. Go look around your house for different quantities and play the same game that we did. First, make your guess, and then count them up and find out how close your estimate was. Have a great day, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.